Benno, Liverpool away, a big game, a huge occasion. What are your initial thoughts ahead of it?
Just excited, really. Of course, you always want to, as a kid, you grow up dreaming of playing in, the best stadiums against, some of the biggest clubs, and Liverpool are exactly that. So yeah, it's an exciting challenge for us all. We're all really looking forward to it, but we know it. It's not just a day out. It's a football match, and we've got to go there to be the best version of us that we can be, and who knows what can happen.
We're heading into on a great run of form, 10 points from the last 12. As a player who's on the pitch, how do you feel about the form and the performances we've been putting in recently?
Yeah, brilliant. I think we weren't maybe getting some of the results that our performances was deserving prior to this last 4 games, and it's nice to be rewarded with the points when your performances definitely warrant them. I think the Christmas period's been fantastic for everyone. The team and squad's been consistent, which I think helps. When you've got players available and COVID and all these things going on, we've touch wood, we've been okay with that at the minute. So yeah, long may that continue. We've just got to know we've got to keep working hard, keep taking on board the manager's messages, and go onto the pitch believing that we can beat anyone, as we showed against arguably one of the biggest clubs in the league in Sheffield Wednesday on the 2nd.
Over the Christmas period, it's always hectic. We had 3 games in a week pretty much, and now had a full week to recover and now start preparing for Liverpool. How helpful has that been?
Yeah, it's massive. Every footballer knows that Christmas period's a busy time. As a player, you've got to do the right things to make sure you recover, but I love playing games of football. I'd rather be playing a game than training. So yeah, it's great that we've got through that. As you said, really good return of points, and now we can look forward to and prepare for a big test on Sunday.
Ahead of preparing for Liverpool, with all their COVID situation and everything, it's quite hard to predict who they might line up against us with. Has that made preparation more difficult?
Not really, because you'd like to think that whoever Liverpool select on the day is going to be a good player that has got a contract and plays for Liverpool Football Club. So they don't employ people that aren't good enough to play for them. So whoever we play against, whatever the lineup is, we can't control what their team is. We can just focus on ourselves, what we do well. Obviously, you have to look at what they do, and obviously pay it respect. But on the day, you've got to try and have a plan to come up with that. And the gaffer's obviously been working away doing that, and we'll be preparing this week to go there and give a good account of ourselves.
You mentioned paying them respect. Is that something the gaffer has really been drumming into you this week?
Not really. I don't think you don't have to speak about that. Do you know what I mean? Like you respect the careers that they're having. That some of them have had and continuing to have. But when it comes to a game, it's 11 men against 11 men. What you've done previous or what you're going to go on to do is irrelevant. It's all about that 90 minutes, and we've just got to prepare the best way that we can. Be organised, set up, and just work as hard as that we possibly can, and hope that we have one of our best ever games, and hope that they don't, and then you've got a chance.
With moving on to the squad, we've got Sekou Jenna and Tom Bloxham available again, which gives us plenty of options now for the front line going into the weekend. Must be very encouraging to have. Yeah,
it's always good to have options. Obviously, more so for the manager. Obviously for me, I like to play, so I don't want too many options. So I'm not playing, but it's great for the manager. It's great for the squad. It's great to have more bodies outside, and everyone training, working hard, and trying to get into the team. I think that's what helps a club go forward, when you've got people training well, wanting to get into the team, and the players that are in the team know they've got to perform. Otherwise, you're out.
You say you like playing games, you have been playing plenty of them. The defence midfield seems very settled at the moment. It can't be going much better, really, by the looks of things.
Yeah, it's going well at the minute, especially if you're looking back at the last 4 games. But, it's a long season. We've got a lot of games ahead of us to play, and, we've got to maintain the consistency levels that we've, managed to find of late. And, who knows what we can do if we can continue to do that. And as you said, the players that are back available, Bloxham and Sekou, hopefully they can come in and have an impact as well when they're called upon by the manager.
Yourself personally, you've been playing recently most as a right wing back. How have you been finding that?
Yeah, I enjoy it. I just enjoy playing football wherever I'm asked to play. To be honest, I take great pride in the fact that I've managed to play however many games it is for in my career. I love playing football. It's all I ever dreamt of doing as a kid, and every time I get a chance to pull on the shirt, in no matter what position it is, I just try and cherish it, hold on to it, and work as hard as I can for the football club.
It's been a little while since we spoke to you, but how do you think the season has gone, both for the club generally and for you personally so far?
Yeah, I think recently obviously a lot better, especially results wise. I think we've got a good group of players here, a real honest group of lads. Everyone's working as hard as they can for each other. Thankfully we've been getting results recently, which gives everyone confidence and belief in each other. The start wasn't great, but we've got the second kind of half of the season now to put that start to bed really and right some wrongs from the beginning of the season. But so far for me the season's been. I came in, I wanted to play football. The manager was, when he brought me in, was said to me, you're not guaranteed to play. You have to work as hard as everyone else. You have to be fit. You have to take on the messages, and I've tried to do that, and thankfully I've been in the team quite regularly, and I hope that continues for the rest of the season, because I love playing football, and I love I'm really enjoying my time at this football club.
When we did last speech, it was after the Stratford game. We were obviously the Giants in that tie. Now we're the Minnows, as it were, going into it. What differences are there when it comes to being the bigger team versus now being the smaller team in cup competition?
I don't think there's more. It's not a difference in terms of like as a player. I think there's a lot gets made of, the smaller team, if you like, beating the bigger team and the FA Cup magic and stuff. When you get onto the pitch and the ref blows his whistle, it's irrelevant. Do you know what I mean? Whether you're the bigger club or the smaller club, you've got a job to do. You've got to perform. And obviously the pressure's obviously a little bit less for us this time round, because no one in the whole country is expecting us to go to Liverpool and win. But the same way that when we played Stratford, everyone was expecting us to win, and they go 1-0 up, and you think, what's going on? Is it going to be another FA Cup bit of magic? And thankfully it wasn't that day, and hopefully we can have a bit more magic on Sunday.
Going back through your career, what about your own experiences in the FA Cup? What's your best memory?
Good question. Probably it's been about 10 years ago now. Playing at Villa Park for I was at Brighton, and we were in League One, and Villa were in Premier League at the time. Ashley Young, Stuart Downing, them types of players, and we got the chance to play them in, I think it was the third round or the fourth round, and that was like my first experience of playing at a Premier League club and against the Premier League club in a Premier League stadium, and we lost, but it was a really good occasion, to do that.
So you mentioned there Brighton in the third round, but you've strange to an FA Cup run, reached the fifth round with Brighton in 2011. Following year, same game with Norwich. Blackburn also there, but you didn't play in that game, I don't believe. But what do you remember of those long cup runs through to the fifth round from the lower leagues of professional football?
Yeah, it's what it's what you want to do when you start on the FA Cup, especially when you're in League 1 and 2. You start from the first round. You want to reach the third round, fourth round, see if you can draw yourself against the people that you watch on TV, because whether you're a professional footballer or not, everyone that's involved in football watches Match of the Day, and you watch Sky and you see these players and you think, I'd love to play in front of that stadium, in front of them fans, and I think that's the special bit about it. I'm fortunate enough that we've got to this third round, and we've drew Liverpool at Anfield. I've got, I don't even know how many tickets I've had to get for family members, and it's a real special occasion. People getting to watch their husband or son or brother and boyfriend, whatever it might be, play at one of the most historical stadiums in world football, and we've just got to really embrace the challenge and the opportunity.
Is that what Sunday's all about then? Obviously you want to get the win, but also just embracing the opportunity, enjoying it with friends and family, just overall making the most of the occasion.
Yeah, you've got to be professional about it. It's a game of football, and just the gaffer's definitely not going to let anyone be stood there enjoying it, laughing, joking, filming themselves and all that. It's not a party. Do you know what I mean? It's a game of football that we've got to take as seriously as we would any other game. But there's also a side to it for everyone. That you want to play in them stadiums. You want, as a kid, that's what you dream of doing. You know, obviously you hope you're doing it week in, week out in the Premier League, but if you're not, these are the opportunities that you have to grasp. Obviously I'm a bit older now, 33, so I've been fortunate enough to have had opportunities to do it before, but it's still as exciting for me as it was then, because you never know when you might get the opportunity again. And if this is the last opportunity I get to play at an Anfield or a stadium like that, then I want to make sure I give a good account about myself, and that only happens if the team gives a good account of itself as well. It's no good having a good day and not turning up and thinking it's a day out, because whether you lose when you expected to lose or not, it hurts.
Brilliant. Thank you, Ben.
Cheers.